Hey fight fans, let's break down a welterweight showdown between Geoff Neal and Carlos Prates on the UFC 319 main card. Geoff Neal holds the record 16-6, known as Hands of Steel. He is a seasoned UFC contender who has faced and beaten some of the division's best. He will face Carlos Prates. He has 21 wins and 7 losses. Prates is a tall, rangy striker with an aggressive Muay Thai base. Let's find out who holds the edge on different aspects using 10-point mass system. Striking, Prates brings attacking volume, but Neal's efficiency, timing and defensive responsibility give him the edge. 10-9 Neal. Wrestling, neither fighter is wrestling oriented, but Neal has better takedown defense and the ability to keep fights where he wants them. Prates rarely attempts offensive wrestling, preferring pure striking exchanges. 10-9 Neal. Jiu-Jitsu, neither fighter prioritizes grappling or consistently hunts for submissions at a high level. Their ground games are serviceable, but not stand out, making this category even. 9-9 Draw. Stamina, Prates carries a high pace for multiple rounds and thrives in extended striking battles. Neal has good cardio but has occasionally slowed when forced to match heavy output for prolonged periods. 10-9 Prates. Chin, both fighters are proven tough. Neal survived heavy fire against Shavkat Rakhmonov, while Prates tends to walk through shots to keep pressuring. 10-10 Draw. KO power, despite Neal's reputation, Prates has produced more knockdowns, aided by his longer reach and ability to strike from multiple levels. Neal has one-shot danger, but Prates' output combined with knockout frequency gives him the nod here. 10-9 Prates. Height and reach, Prates stands taller with a longer reach, which complements his kicking game and ability to manage range. 10-9 Prates. Experience, Neal's resume against top 10 competition, including fights with Steven Thompson and Shavkat Rakhmonov, gives him the edge in facing elite-level opponents under bright lights. 10-9 Neal. Final scorecard, Neal 76, Prates 76. This matchup is about precision versus pressure. Neal's advantage lies in his defensive discipline and counter-punching, while Prates brings chaos with size, pace and finishing instincts. If Neal can maintain range discipline and avoid brawling, his accuracy and experience could lead to a clean decision or counter knockout. Prates, however, has the power and pace to overwhelm if he turns the fight into a firefight and uses his physical tools effectively. Now let's analyze possible fight outcomes. Prates wins by submission, 5%. Prates has some opportunistic grappling, but both fighters generally prefer striking, so a submission is an outside chance. Neal by submission, 5%. Neal rarely hunts submissions and Prates is not typically vulnerable on the mat, making this outcome unlikely. Neal wins by KO or TKO, 10%. Neal has one-shot knockout power, particularly with his left hand, and if Prates' defensive lapses show up, Neal could capitalize. However, Prates' size and forward pressure make it less likely compared to his own KO potential. Prates wins by decision, 15%, while possible a decision for Prates is less likely, as he often relies on damage and pace rather than point fighting. If Neal's defense holds, Prates may struggle to win rounds cleanly without a knockdown. And two main scenarios in my opinion, Neal wins by decision, 30%. Neal's defensive skills and counter-punching give him an edge in prolonged fight. If he keeps composure, avoids wild brawls and picks his shots, he can secure a decision by landing the cleaner, more efficient strikes. And my prediction, Prates wins by KO or TKO, 35%. Prates carries the higher knockout rate and has shown the ability to overwhelm opponents with volume and power. His height and reach advantage, combined with aggressive striking, make a stoppage victory his most likely path. Final note: if Prates can use his size and striking volume to break through Neal's defense, a stoppage is possible. Neal's best chance is to stay composed, counter effectively and let his defense and experience carry him over 3 rounds. Now let's make game plans for both fighters. how Carlos Prates can win. Use reach and size advantage. Keep Neal at range with long jabs, front kicks, and tip kicks to control distance early. High output and combinations. Push a steady pace with varied strikes, forcing Neal to defend rather than counter. Exploit defensive gaps. Look for moments when Neal shells up to land big knees or elbows in close. Prates wins if he controls range, maintains high output, and uses pressure to either overwhelm Neal for a stoppage or win rounds on volume. How Geoff Neal can win. Stay composed under pressure. Avoid brawling and force Prates to walk into sharp counterpunches. Target body and legs. Slow Prates down early by attacking the midsection and legs to limit his output. Defensive discipline. Rely on head movement and footwork to make Prates miss and punish him with power shots. Neal wins if he keeps his composure, limits Prates' pressure with counters, and scores the more effective strikes over 3 rounds.